it's a growing world for the, for the first of the kindergarten. It's sort of really a home, and it's sort of the number of people that are intimately associated with a child is kept quite small, usually to family and kindergarten. But there's first of all the mother, then mother, father, and siblings, and mother, father, grandparents, and so on. This is still quite intimate, and then to the kindergarten, which was like a family element there. So that's kept quite small. And then this going to school, it's and I suppose this picture builds up in the sense that the right place, in one sense, for the young child is at home with the mother or the family. But that's not the world today. But there's a kind of picture that for the young child, that is the ideal environment. And so any kindergarten needs to kind of imitate that in some way to get that same quality. But going to a class teacher, there's a whole element of stepping outside that and coming to here is a guide, a tour guide. And when you go on a tour, it's quite good to have the same tour guide, not to keep on chopping and changing. But part of this is, with a teacher, is the teacher gets to know the pupils really well. I think in some other schools there's always an element at the beginning of the year, new class, new teacher. The teacher's got to spend the first X months of the year getting to know the children, which may mean reading the reports of the previous teacher and so on. But quite a bit is just simply getting to know. And with the teacher, you come back, the same class, and greet the same children. You see, wow, how much they've grown over the summer months and so on. You're starting so much further up the course. The children learn to trust you. And that, of course, is hard work, because you have to earn the trust. You have to be trustworthy. One of the whole tasks of a teacher is to be lovable, to be worthy of the love and respect of the children. Rudolf Steiner puts it in a word, authority. Now, of course, authority is a word that's been misused by the army, or whatever it is, that the general or whoever, the captain, the sergeant, has authority over you. That means he has power over your will. We have the same thing. People write their wills when they die, and they try and extend their will beyond death, but that's a whole other issue. This authority, you come back to the key element of the word authority, is author. And what is an author? Somebody who can tell a story. That's one element of it. And the whole of the lower school is about telling a story. And that's a sort of way of connecting, with the journey. There's but another element of the authority is, if somebody is an authority, you go to someone who's an authority because they know about the subject. That they, in one sense, are an expert on the subject. But if you take, for the lower school, the being an authority, for the first, Rudolf Steiner from very early on divides the lower school into three parts. From about 7, the change of teeth, the birth of the etheric body, or becoming more independent, available for thinking, pictorial thinking. Then it says that around 9, or 28 months if you divide 7 into 3, which would be 9 years, 4 months in the 10th year, there's a kind of threshold, often called the 9-year-old threshold, and that is a time when children become aware of their own soul as such. Before, I think I've characterized this last year, that up till that time, the children go to their parents and so on and talk and sort of think Mummy knows what I'm thinking or doing. They sort of, you don't have to explain things. It's just sort of you can have a conversation. And then there comes this dawning, my mother doesn't know what I'm thinking. You know, my teacher doesn't know what I'm thinking. My friends don't know what I'm thinking. And suddenly, it's an element of being on your own, which can, for some children, be quite frightening. It's a time, too, and they do, are you my parents? Who am I? Where did I come from? And that's not calling for a sex education talk. It's really, I came from the heavenly worlds. That I am a spirit. It's not I am a body. Or I am a soul, and perhaps it's... So become aware of the soul, that my feelings, my thoughts, and my will is not known to others. As I said, in the thoughts, I can tell lies. Because other people don't know what I'm thinking. They don't know the truth. And there will be a time they can experiment a little bit with that. That's the time, I've noticed in school, there's certain thievery goes on because, you know, you can just take something. No one knows what I am doing. Not all children do it, but some do it. Sometimes parents may come up to you and say, what's happened to my child? They've turned out to be a liar and a thief. What have you been doing at school? It's a stage of life. And for some they go through it, others they don't. But there is an element of this awareness, this kind of loneliness there of the self, of being aware of themselves. And I say it's this first third of the lower school. You're looking for your teacher to be an authority, in a sense, a guide, a leader, who knows what to do with a will. The teacher knows how to sing songs, write rhythms, write on the board, write letters, do form drawing, all the do's. You can see a teacher is a doer. They know how to do things. You go to your teacher and they'll tell you how to do things. It's all in the will. That's the connection. That's the authority of the class teacher. And then they come, yes?
You go ahead and finish.
Okay. Then it's that after the 9-year change, children, because they come into themselves, they're more interested in actually relationships with others. They have friends, they have best friends, or they have a clique, they have a little group, and they have a little secret signal about, that there's a kind of in-way that you, maybe a special handshake or some other little something, that a secret society kind of thing or whatever. But it's about friends and how you can have friends and you fall out with friends and so on. And I feel part of the authority of the teacher at that stage is the teacher knows how to relate. The teacher knows how to relate with all his or her colleagues, and that can be visible to the children. It can also be very visible when the teachers fall out, and this really affects children in the middle school. I call that the middle school. Well, it should be the lower school. And so often a teacher then is having to sort out things that have gone wrong between people. That's how I can remember having times of children having an argument, having a fight and so on. And at sort of the end of the break, set children doing some task. I had to get two to come up and say, well, let's talk about what happened in break time.